Happy Wednesday, you guys, everybody. Welcome to All Things Possible Live tonight. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to give a few moments for people to step in to see that there is a red button over here means we are live on Facebook. We are in All Things Possible group. Thank you guys for joining me. It is Wednesday. We are halfway through the week. Next week, school starts here in my city, and I'm so excited and with a little bit of bittersweet because now we have to get into that routine. But I'm ready. I'm ready to be sitting in the house quiet while I work. Thank you for jumping on. I asked my friend Patricia Watson to come on. I recently met her. I don't remember how we got in contact, but somehow the universe linked us up together. And she does lives on her Facebook also. And I've watched a few of her lives, and they are very informative and very fun. She has fun people on. We were laughing. There she is. Okay, so let's see. All right, Patricia, you popped up. It'll take a few seconds sometimes. Okay, or you can send a request now. So I asked her to come on and share a little bit about what she does, how she started her lives, because I keep saying it in all the videos, and that is because that is the message that keeps coming through to me, is that we are all spiritual superheroes holding each other's hand. There you go. All right. Reminding each other of who we are, stepping into our power, and all of our superpowers are different and serves the same service, the same purpose. And so I asked Patricia to come on. You guys get ready to welcome my friend Patricia. I'm going to do my favorite drum. Bam!
Bam!
It worked. It worked. It
I
worked.
did it.
Yay!
I'm so proud because I learned something new because tech is not my thing. I acknowledge it. But you know what? I do it anyway because it doesn't
Quick
matter.
pass.
It's just
Yes.
so thank you for your patience
Learning.
with
I
me.
know. No problem. Isn't it feel good too when you don't know something and you learn it? You're like, it gives you, it is an extra sense of
Mhm.
power.
I felt like I had some
Thank you for coming
superpowers too
on.
today.
Yeah, I'm sure. Aren't you just getting off of one of your lives too?
Yes, two actually.
Yes.
Yeah, two.
Two. I know. Those back to back like that. Sometimes it gives such an adrenaline, such a like high vibration. When I do them late, it's really hard for me to go to bed because I'm like, okay, I'm pumped now. Every single time. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming
Yeah,
on,
thank
Patricia. Go
you.
ahead, introduce yourself to the group and tell people who you are and what do you do.
Well, first of all, my divine goddess, beautiful soul, thank you for having me. It's such an honor. I am so humbled and honored to be here and to
Thank
share this space with you. Because we are in this together, right? And
you.
so I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. I'm Patricia Watson,
Yes.
and I have been on this spiritual journey for a very long time and just evolve with time. You meet new people, and then you have people on your path that get you to this level, and then now it's
Yes.
time to elevate to the
Yeah.
next level. So so it's just, this past year I've just really been going in deep of what is my real purpose, what am I supposed to do? We know what we're good at from a skill set out in the world, right? But then when it comes
Yes.
into this divine soul calling, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
So I've just really been, like, what am I supposed to do? And I just love connecting people and bringing people together.
Me
I'm known
too.
as over the years, they've always called me, if you want to know or you want to get connected, call Patricia. If she doesn't know, she'll find it, right? So then when you're looking, it's like, man, this is just what I've been doing anyway. And there's so much
Yeah.
chaos, or people want to think that there's so much chaos that they realize that there's like not beautiful people in the world, and there's so many beautiful people in the world. Just because you look different, act different, talk different, may have different political views or religious views, who cares at the end of the day,
Yes.
right? Everybody's still
Yeah.
striving for the same thing. And so I was like, if I can just I'm just going to do this, and so one of my mentors challenged me and to go live. And I'm not a big social media fan because I feel like a lot of it is an illusion. I feel like it has a lot of power and good, but so where do I fit in that where I could come from an authentic place? And so,
Yes.
so I was challenged to do that, and then it just kind of spiraled from there, you know. And it's like I reached out to people that I thought were way beyond my reach, talking about LOA and
Me
manifestation.
too. Me too.
And then when they said yes, I'm like, what did they just say?
Yes. Me.
What? High five.
Yeah. I was. That's so cool. I love that. See how it naturally took place too. Something very similar from mine as well. Like I was doing a tarot reading,
Mhm.
and my friend was doing I Ching, and I had just started getting on a camera because I don't really care. I didn't care to be on the
Mhm.
camera, so much. And so I was selling jewelry. I still do, and so that helped me get on the camera a little bit, but I still hide behind the jewelry. And so she's challenged. She said, "Let's go on a live." And I jumped on the live with her, and it for an hour, and it went by so quick. And when I was done, that adrenaline that I told you, my mind went cling, cling, cling. It was like I could see a pinball machine of how to do it exactly.
Mhm.
And I did. I reached out to people like you said. I was just like, I'm gonna just try. And they said yes, and I was like, oh. I put 4 people on my list, and I said, if I get these 4 people, I know I'm heading in
Mhm.
the direction. And I got all 4 of them. One of them was waiting to come back from vacation, but he said yes. So I was like, I love it so
Mm.
much.
I do too.
Yeah.
And and don't get me wrong now, I'm not so super that I think that there's some, like, I still get that, like, it's the butterflies, but it's
Same.
nervous, but it's that nervous
Yeah.
excitement of, I know I'm getting ready to expose some more goodness to the world. So
Yeah.
for however many minutes that they have, that they're connected, they know that, hey, I'm connected to some beautiful people right now. What I do with it after you
Yeah.
get off here, that's on you, right? We're not accountable for that. But
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
love it, because and how we connected was, you had, I think, seen one of the lives that I did with Lou, and and
Yes, that's right.
and when I got the
That's
voice
right.
message,
Blues helped me meet so many people. I love
when
Lou. Go ahead.
you
Yeah.
left that voicemail, I was like, gosh, her voice is so beautiful. I mean, you know how you just kind of get that vibe, like, oh wow,
Yeah.
I feel that energy.
Yes.
And but then I was like, she reached out to me. I don't have a long follow. I'm just, I just want to bring good and just connect people. And I was like, oh my goodness, how special is that? And I did shed a couple of tears of joy because it really warmed my heart because it.
When you know you're in
Mhm.
alignment, it feels good. It
Yeah.
does. It
Yeah,
does.
and it was like it
For
was
me too.
validation for what I'm doing,
Yes.
and so thank you
Yeah.
for that because,
Oh,
mm,
thank you also then for being receptive, because that was I seen you on the live, and I heard the way that you were talking. I was not aware that you were doing lives yourself until I friended you,
mhm,
and I said, "Oh, she does lives too." And I started, and I was like, "Wow, I love that. I love looking." There's a couple of people lives that I love to look at too and look out for. Like I just want to name 2 real quick: Jesse and Todd, and um, uh, my friend Lori does lives
mhm.
on. I love watching a lot of people's lives too, and yours definitely went on my list very
Thank
quickly.
you.
So, yes, I
Thank
love
you.
it. I've seen that you have a variety of people on there too, the same like I do, and that's what I said. What we're doing, I feel really
Mhm,
strongly. However, it is being constructed,
mhm,
that we are all being put in our heart to step up. The ones who are able to step
mhm.
up to now to help gather each other's hands, because we have groups worldwide.
Right.
We are spiritual superheroes. And sometimes the healing is through mind, body, and soul.
Mm,
Sometimes it is just through a compassion or emotion a person can
mhm.
express easily to another. And that's your superpower.
Yeah.
And I want other people to know your superpowers. Step into your superpowers and help other people
Yeah.
rise up too, because it's
It's
now.
now.
This is the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, man, that I feel all of that. It's so powerful. And
I
um
can tell.
I I do, I do because, you know, what if we didn't take that and answer that call, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I always
Yeah.
ask myself now that I've been doing it. I'm getting more comfortable. And now it's just like people are just coming to me. I'm not even going and looking. And
Yes.
they're saying yes, and so it's like
Yeah.
we have to help people cross that bridge. They don't have to
Yes.
cross the bridge alone. It may look like it. I love nature and the mist and all the mystical things of a
Yeah.
forest, but everybody's not there where they
Yes.
no, I'm not going by myself. You better hold my hand. You better come along. I'm not doing it, you know. So,
Yeah.
you know, for us to just follow our heart and be so open to connect, which I'm so grateful for. I just
Yes.
think that, I mean,
Yeah.
when you said that's our superpower, I was like, because I love all of like the Marvel comics and stuff, you know, and
Me too.
and I'm
All of
like,
them.
yes.
Yeah. You're in the supermarket and we wear our capes then too, you know, when we talk to people in the line, when we talk to the cashiers,
Exactly.
we're and I was given that. I mean, I don't think I was the only one because at the time when it started coming flooding to my mind, I was hearing everybody talking about it.
Hmm.
And at that time too, it seemed like every superhero had a movie out. And I felt very strongly like, oh, it's not that we're looking for a hero, it is that we're looking within
Hmm.
ourselves and finding ourselves, but we are all heroes
Yeah.
in the sense of, you know, whatever it is we're mastering in our
Yeah.
lives, whether it be by trial or whether it be by conquering
Hmm.
over fear or whatever it is too. So I realized we all have
Yeah,
superpowers in
we
our
do.
own way.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm just, man, I'm just like, I have like this energy flowing through me right now because I'm here. And I'm just, yeah, I'm just, you know, really just super grateful. I really am, because it's like the sky's the limit for anyone out there, you know, that wants to do
Yeah.
something. Don't be afraid. I mean, just do it,
Yes.
because you're going to reach people I would never reach. I'm going to reach people that maybe we would
Yeah.
reach some together, but we all have our own individual superpowers. And so once you tap into that and connect to that, I'm telling you, I mean, you can really
Yeah.
make magic
It's
happen, right?
I want to say something to that you just said that's so very powerful for me that I've had a lot of my work to speak of inner work to do with was with that too, because I felt for a very long time that I was called to do this. Wherever I go, I would be told that you are a teacher too, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay, well, when the time is right, it'll
Mm-hmm.
happen, and a lot of doubt and fear, a lot of self doubt
Mm-hmm.
about self doubt, and um, just scared, like I was saying, to get on camera
Mm-hmm.
and all of that. But something in me, I know I would surrender, I would meditate, and I would ask Source to guide me
Mm-hmm.
to how to do this. And slowly, what I realized was the jewelry was a stepping stone
Mm-hmm.
to get here, and this is a stepping stone for whatever
Mm-hmm.
else is to come too. And so to allow that fear sometimes to push you,
Mm-hmm.
because if I would have stuck in that fear, I did. I'm not gonna lie to you. There was times my friend who got me hooked up with the jewelry, I sat in her house and for like one time for 10 minutes, I was in boohoo
Mm-hmm.
tears. Like, I want to do this, but I'm so scared. And I said, I can't do it. And I walked away. I didn't. For like 2 weeks, I went, nope, I can't do it. Then I got on, and you can tell I was terrified. But I know I have to keep pushing for it. I didn't know it was because I was gonna wanted to do lives with people,
Yeah.
but I knew something inside me was pushing to. So I want to encourage people too, like you just said, to even if you can't fully see the full story, but you feel that passion in you to do it. I think pushing past the fear can be kind of exciting
Mm-hmm.
too, right? It's scary and exciting at the same time. You're like, oh well, let's see what
I know.
happens. Oh, it's
I
great.
know. I know. And you know, I don't know if you've had this happen, but like since I've been doing it too, like there's things that are articulating in my head, but then I'm like, that's not what I meant to say. But I'm like, you know what? No one even missed a beat or even knew that that happened.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
one thing I would also encourage. Don't even think about it. Just keep moving
Yeah.
with it, because they
Yeah.
don't even notice. And then yeah, for me, I just like, okay, well, next time I'll I'll kind of just make sure I'm USA more than, because I get
Yes.
so excited. I just want to.
And my friend Brandon, I remember when I did the first one in my video. I'm sorry guys, I have this thing going on. But my friend Brandon, when he would do videos and he says, don't care how your face is stuck or whatever, just nobody's paying attention to that. Just do the videos.
Yeah,
And I was like, okay, okay.
yeah.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad we have the people around us too. Like you were saying at the beginning, how it seems to be that the people that you need for this moment comes
Mm,
into your lives and enrich and fill you
mm-hmm,
and help you with the lessons and everything else. And then when it's time to I want to say level up, or maybe just learn something else new, which is a form of leveling up. Not that they drop off, but the new set of energy
Yeah.
comes in to rise you up to that. To I love that. See how Source orchestrates all of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And I
Yeah,
want to encourage you too, because and you did that so fast, putting all that together. And I had shared that on my I don't know if it's Instagram story or this Facebook story, whatever it is, that little thing that's up
yeah,
there. I'm still learning.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I got like it was like 60 some views off of that one little thing, but I got three messages from different people. One was, "Oh my God, how did I didn't know about this group. I love the name of this group. It's so powerful." Another one
Oh,
said the
that's
same thing. Another friend of mine said the same thing. "I really like the name of this group." And then the third one was
cool.
like, "What are you doing now? Who is this person?" So, but it was all
Well,
positive. So I wanted to tell you that too. So because now they have exposure to all things possible, even if they don't join the group, that in their
yes,
head, all things are
imprint.
possible. That connected with them. So kudos,
Yay,
I
that
just
is
want
my
to share
goal. That's
that.
my intention. That's
Yeah.
awesome. What is the name of your show that you do on your
Okay,
page?
so I'm happy to share. However, launch is coming like I'm this close, so I
Yes,
have to
I
wait.
remember.
But you will be the first to know.
Okay,
I
okay.
promise.
So when I tell you, we'll know. All right. So my name was given to me. I've shared this before, but I don't know if that you've seen it. So I'll just share really briefly. My name was given to me at the time I was still going to church very steadily, and the pastor, when I went one night, said, God had changed, all these different people in the Bible's name according to their life purpose and what
Mm,
they were called for to do. And so go home tonight and think about what would your name be changed to. I went home
wow.
that night and I was praying about it, and a name didn't pop into my head, but All Things Possible popped into my head and said, I would change your name to All Things Possible because the impossible will be your life.
Mm,
And watch and see, and things that seemed very impossible started happening
mm.
for me and had happened already up until that point. And so I accepted that name, and eventually different events happened and it ended up being a group. But yeah, that's how I came. So mine is called All Things Possible.
Yeah. I can't wait to share how mine came about. It's similar, a
Yeah,
similar
yeah,
experience.
similar. That's what's amazing about this is like, because when I talked to Jesse about how he started his, it was because of Corona. Something happened. This happened. My friend Elijah too. He does lives and they're amazing. Have you
I
seen
have
Elijah
not.
before through
No,
Luke?
I have not.
Well, through Luke, yes, I'll have to.
Okay.
So he does lives too, and his came about very similar too. So I thought it was so amazing. That's what I'm telling you. We're all sitting and we're thinking sometimes it's just us,
Mm-hmm.
but
It's
it's not.
not.
Once a thought's been put into your head, you better believe millions and billions now
Mm-hmm.
of others has been also. Now it's upon you to act
Yeah.
upon that thought,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Isn't that
It
awesome?
is. I'm just letting that permeate because I felt all of that. It's so
Yes,
powerful.
yes, it is. It is because people. That's how come inventions and stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
happen. Somebody thinks, I had this great thought. There'll be 50 million people had the same thought, but only 10 or 5 of them will act on it.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the billionaires and millionaires that we see for the noodles and the little notepads and
Right.
the little pacifiers. All right, that's it. That's a little message for somebody.
Exactly. Better pay attention.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
I think that's a lot of it too, is that um you do get those nudges, but you
Yes,
don't pay attention to them. And I have learned to pay attention to even the minute details. If I'm in the store
yes,
or I hear something, and I like
yes.
literally I had something that a project I'm working on, and I could not for the life of me. I'm like, it's just not coming. I'm like, well, Source will bring it to me in time. And
Yeah,
I was literally in waiting in line, and this lady, she was just talking to, I don't know, it was a family member, somebody beside, it was with
yeah.
her, and she made a comment, and then I was like, oh, you know what? And then I was like, where's my? I was grabbing my purse, trying to write it down real quick. I was like, that now I know, and I got the answer.
Isn't
And
that
she
it's
doesn't know. She
so
went on about
amazing?
her life. She had no idea.
Yes, yes. I love that. So you know what's crazy sometimes? And sometimes in just a bird flying over the car has given me an answer that
Yeah.
I needed. Or the type of a bird that I seen helped me think of a clarity of something that
Yeah.
I love when God moves that
Yeah.
way.
And I was like, I literally have been sitting and meditating. I go outside. I was grounding. Nothing.
Yeah.
Crickets.
So simple.
And then I'm in the store and voila, the answer comes.
Do you listen to
I
Abraham
do.
Hicks, or have you ever heard the video where she was talking about the light when she asked Jerry to show a sign and
Mm-hmm.
then the light went on?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that reminds me of
Yeah.
that. Sometimes so simple and so
Yeah.
easy that God will show us
Yeah.
signs and
Yeah.
informations.
That's why
Ah,
I've just learned to be very in tune and pay attention to everything, that I'm doing, because you don't know where the message is coming from.
yes.
And now I'm a
Yeah.
conduit, because now three people now resonate with all things possible. So maybe they're going to go through something that may be a little challenging for them tomorrow or sometime it may be in their family's life, and they're going to like, no, all things are possible. They're going to remember that name.
Yeah.
So we are all,
Oh,
you know what I
love.
mean? Like we're all
Yeah.
helping that current and keeping that flow of light and energy and love and flowing. I think that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It is. I feel like the more that we practice it, the more natural
Hmm.
it becomes, that it becomes consistent instead of just, in between
Yeah.
times. I think more of us are aware of it now. And so the more we practice it, being in alignment, being in tune with,
Hmm.
with recognizing God everywhere
Hmm.
in everything, literally, seriously, that is so true for me. Everything, even in what someone would call bad,
Hmm.
I've learned to see God in that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So I appreciate those lessons
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. And on that same subject, it's like it may be challenging at the time, but because I know experiences, even in the last year or so, it's like, why did that happen? But now, such a time as this, where I'm at right now, you know what not to do. You know the things, you're able to clarify what you want, and what is
Yes.
for your greater good. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited for all those lessons. Good, or
Me
good.
too. So what is it? What are some of the things that well, I know you probably can't, tell us every single detail yet because you're still working on it and it's about to come out. I know someone has the element of surprise as well. But are you going to continue doing lives on, like, for one of the things I'll share really quick. I would love to move into podcasts now, because I've had a lot of people say that I would love to listen to your lives, like whilst I'm doing
Hmm.
something, and if I don't have connection with Wi-Fi to Facebook or whatever, at least if you have it on an iPod,
Yes.
podcast, I'm sorry, they can access it. So I would love to move in that direction. Do you have and conferences? I'm like open
Yes.
to the field. I'm like so
Yes.
open.
So yes. So podcast is coming. Um, Conference. Um, it's a different format, but yeah, all of that is. I'm really excited about it all. It just because it just kind of
I just
happened.
intrigued.
It's not something that I
Yeah,
had a business plan and I had
yeah,
this. It's
yeah,
just, and then the more I have been doing these, then other opportunities are just kind of just presenting itself. And so
yes.
I'm not,
And the people.
yeah, I'm not trying to make anything happen. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's not a priority, but that's something that I can add to it, because right now I want to be in
Yeah,
alignment with what I'm supposed to be doing right now, and
got
grow
it.
into it.
Yeah,
But yeah, all of those things I'm really excited about, and I think it's very powerful too, because there's a lot of people that are shut in, that don't have internet access, that live in rural areas. So being able to have, another tool as a
access.
podcaster, or and some of the other program or apps that I'm learning about that are really
Yes.
powerful, for people. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm really excited.
Okay, so one of the last questions that I'll start wrapping up with, because I keep my is I want to know, so your format of what it is you're doing, because I put on the fly a little bit, like bringing the bridge between forgetting politics, and what is the format basically around, so other people too can check out your lives, and if anybody else wants to share. I've had a lot of guests that are still on my page. I would love to share on your, what is the
Yeah.
format of your lives
So
based around?
the format is just showing up, right? Whoever you are, whatever you're doing, showing up and being your authentic self, right? You don't have to worry about, I mean, if your faith is important to you, I want you to share it, but we're not going to get into a political or a religious um, dialogue back and forth. So, and it's,
Yeah.
what are you bringing to the world that I can help you with the exposure, so that you can have the confidence that you need to expand yourself, to be open, because okay, so I had somebody that believes different than you. Well, now, oh, well, they're a real, okay, I didn't even know that, right? So now
Right.
my objective is that you're going to go and find people that you, even if you don't have a show or go Facebook Live, that when you meet people outside of your container, that you
Yeah.
are open and you see them with love and you have a better understanding and a better perspective. And then my real passion as well is I'm working on a program, is with women, because women, there's so much masculine energy. I feel like women really need that support of just coming as one and
Yeah.
authentically. And so I'm working on that too, because that's really passionate. I'm really passionate about that, having more
Okay.
feminine energy, connecting without, because I'm so, I get so tired of everybody like, oh, women are so catty. Well, yes, I mean, everybody can be catty, but I don't want that label, and I don't, most women don't
Yeah.
want that label, but they don't
So
talk about
changing
it.
the label.
You know, they don't talk about it. So having a
I like
platform where they
that.
can speak.
Yes, I love that. I actually have had a lot of the women that do come on are usually very passionate too about helping raise the feminine
Hmm.
energy as well too. So again, see that, and right there, that's where people connect, because we're all being
Yeah.
pushed in the right same
Yes.
direction.
Yes.
I love that. Well, thank you so much. I'm sorry
It's
to
okay.
take time to come and share a little
Yeah.
bit. I want other people who want to see your lives and see what your lives are about to be able to get in contact with you. So your name is tagged up here. That's how they can reach you,
Yeah.
because it's on Facebook. Do you do your lives or cast them anywhere else
Yeah,
also?
they're on my they're on YouTube. They'll be on LinkedIn, and I'm the Facebook page for the show will also be there. So we're working on that. Should have that hopefully in
Okay.
the next couple of, within a week maybe, hopefully. So
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, Patricia, thank you so much for
You're
coming on. I appreciate
welcome.
it. I love your energy too. I feel the love. I'm so glad you said yes. It
Oh,
happened so quickly too, right? With
no.
us, you was just like, I'm so glad you, and I was like, I'm so glad too that you want to do a live.
I did, because because when I, like I said, when you sent me that message, my heart was just so warm, because I'm like, she does lives all the time, and she like took the time to, I mean, that's a
Oh,
beautiful thing. Somebody take the time to say, hey, I saw that, and hey, I just want you to know that, hey, I saw you. I mean, that's, my
yeah,
gosh, I wish
yeah.
more people would
And I
experience
did,
that.
I did. I seen you and I felt your energy
Mm.
too. I knew it was gonna happen. I just was waiting till the universe says, okay, nudge. And it does that, right? Isn't
Yeah,
that so amazing too? I'm sure it happens to you where the universe says, hey, it's like it's a whisper, go talk to that
yeah,
person or ask that
yeah.
person. And I'm like, hey, and
Yeah,
yay.
I know. So thank you so much for having me on
Thank
your
you
show. You're a
also.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul. And just keep doing
Thank
what you're
you.
doing,
Same here.
because it's very powerful, and we'll never know.
Same here. I want to encourage you also to continue doing what we're doing. We are holding each other's hands
Yes.
and we are lifting up in our own ways and our own uh, gifts
Yes.
to remind each other of who we are. So I appreciate you two taking time to share. You guys check out her lives. Her name is linked on the top right here. And we'll be keeping our eye open. You're welcome to come back also
Thank you.
when you're ready to launch. Okay. Thank
Absolutely.
you. All
Have a
right. You
good
have a good
night.
night.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye. Always, every single time I get off of one, um, I always vibrations flow high. I love it when confirmation lines up and hey Pod, hey Maya, thank you guys for joining me. I was saying I love when you feel alignment. I think when you see synchronicities happen in your life and people come in and you know that they're meant to be there for a season, for a reason, for a lesson to the next level up, it feels good. You know that you are on a path that God has for you, that you chose, that you know how all that mixed together. But thank you so much for taking time and joining me tonight. It is Wednesday night. Tomorrow I do have a guest, Lion, coming on. He is raw and full of information and experience and experiments that he can share with us. Join me tomorrow. It's going to be a late night one tonight. I'm sorry, tomorrow, because he is on the other side of the world. But we'll learn all about that tomorrow. So thank you again. You guys have a blessed night.